April 5th, 2023. Around 10 o'clock at night, Robinson, Texas police get a call about a brush fire in a field near a quiet subdivision east of Interstate 35. They expect grass, maybe some debris somebody lit off. Routine. What they find is a large plastic storage container on fire with a body inside.
Robinson 911, where's your emergency?
Hey, I was just calling, I tried calling the fire department to see there's a fire in our subdivision. I can't see anybody over there. It's back by the trees. And we did have lightning, so that's what I wasn't sure too.
Okay, I can get someone headed out that way to check on it.
Okay.
Alright, thank you, sir.
And standing next to that container, barking at every officer who approaches, refusing to leave, refusing to let anyone near, is a white dog. That dog would not move from that spot. Not when the fire trucks came, not when the body was removed, not the next morning when a citizen found him still sitting in the exact place where the fire had been. That dog's name was Titan. And Titan is the reason we know what happened to Mandy Rose Reynolds.
Doggy, you sure are hanging around here. Is that your person over there?
Mandy Rose Reynolds was 26 years old. She was from Idaho originally, but Mandy was someone who moved through the world looking for where she fit. She'd lived in Tennessee, she'd lived in Louisiana, and a few months before her death, she'd landed in San Marcos, Texas, a college town along the San Marcos River, halfway between Austin and San Antonio. She moved there for the simplest, most human reason there is. Her best friend lived there. Her best friend worked as a property manager at an apartment complex, and Mandy settled nearby. She had her dog, she had her friend, and she was thinking about starting college. Her stepfather, Ron, would later describe Mandy's relationship with Titan in the way that tells you everything you need to know about someone. He said she spoiled that dog. That Titan was loved and spoiled, and he was definitely that. If you've seen the photos, and you probably have because they went everywhere after this case broke, you already understand. Mandy and Titan are together in almost every one. He's got his head on her shoulder. She's got her arms around him. It's the kind of bond where you can't talk about one without the other. Here's what Mandy's mother, Carlene Hardy, would later write in a GoFundMe set up after Mandy's death. She said Mandy had been contacted by her cousin, Derek, under what Carlene described as false pretenses. Those false pretenses led to Mandy driving from San Marcos, Texas, all the way to Wichita, Kansas, roughly 600 miles, to pick Derek up and bring him back to Texas for what was supposed to be a brief visit. Mandy's father would testify at trial that his daughter was afraid of Derek, that he'd advised her to get away from him, but Mandy let him stay. For about a month, Derek Joseph Daigneault lived in Mandy's apartment in San Marcos. Now, I need to tell you who Derek Daigneault was, not because this is his story, it isn't, but because understanding his history is the only way to understand how dangerous the situation Mandy was in really was. Derek Joseph Daigneault was 27 years old in April 2023. He was Mandy's cousin, and he was a 9-time convicted felon. That number isn't an exaggeration, and it isn't a prosecutor's embellishment. During the punishment phase of his trial, the jury was shown a criminal record that stretched back to when Derek was 15 years old. Aggravated burglary, attempted aggravated robbery, aggravated assault, possession of methamphetamine, attempted interference with law enforcement, criminal discharge of a firearm at a residence, fleeing officers, aggravated battery, criminal possession of a weapon by a convicted felon. He had been to prison in Kansas for violent offenses. He had shot another person as a juvenile, and when Mandy drove those 600 miles to pick him up, Derek was on felony probation with an active arrest warrant out for him in Kansas. Derek Joseph Daigneault was 27 years old in April 2023. He was Mandy's cousin, and he was a 9-time convicted felon. That number isn't an exaggeration, and it isn't a prosecutor's embellishment. During the punishment phase of his trial, the jury was shown a criminal record that stretched back to when Derek was 15 years old. Aggravated burglary, attempted aggravated robbery, aggravated assault, possession of methamphetamine, attempted interference with law enforcement, criminal discharge of a firearm at a residence, fleeing officers, aggravated battery, criminal possession of a weapon by a convicted felon. He had been to prison in Kansas for violent offenses. He had shot another person as a juvenile. And when Mandy drove those 600 miles to pick him up, Derek was on felony probation with an active arrest warrant out for him in Kansas. April 4th, 2023. The morning of. Walmart surveillance cameras in San Marcos capture a man walking through the store. He loads a shopping cart with 3 items: a large blue plastic storage container, a shovel, and a gas can. He pays. He walks to the parking lot. He loads the items into a black Honda Accord. And as the car pulls away from the Walmart, the surveillance cameras catch one more detail: a white dog's head poking out of the passenger side window. That's Titan, in Mandy's car, with the man who just bought supplies to dispose of her body. 45 minutes later, Mandy's cell phone pings at a Lowe's in San Marcos. We don't know what was purchased there, but the phone was still active. It was still moving. Investigators would never determine exactly when Derek killed Mandy. They believe he shot her in the head at some point that day or the next, using a .380 semi-automatic pistol that had belonged to Mandy's own grandmother. April 5th. Mandy's cell phone begins pinging cell towers on Interstate 35, heading north from San Marcos. Detective Whitney Mathis of the Robinson Police Department would later map those pings at trial. The phone appeared in the San Marcos area, then Round Rock, then Georgetown, then Bruceville Eddy, then Lorena, each ping a few minutes apart, a steady line north along I-35. Around 6:25 p.m., the phone is on the highway. By 9:05 p.m., the phone is in the Robinson area, east of I-35, near Heston Circle. At roughly 10 o'clock that night, residents near the subdivision call police to report a brush fire in the field. Robinson police respond. They extinguish the fire, and they find a human body burned beyond recognition inside a large plastic storage container. There is evidence of a gunshot wound. A fired .380 shell casing is recovered from inside the melted container, and there is a white Labradoodle barking at every officer who approaches, refusing to leave the area, refusing to be caught.
You know who it is yet? Like any ID, any person?
We did not touch anything, didn't get any closer than maybe 3 feet.
Okay.
And I instructed everybody to back out to try to preserve evidence.
Okay.
I mean, there's obviously no tire tracks going up to where the body is.
And even in the mud when I was walking up, I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
The next morning, after the body has been removed and the scene has been processed, a citizen passing by notices something. The white dog is back, sitting in the exact spot where the fire had been the night before. That citizen calls Robinson Animal Control. Animal Control captures the dog. They scan him for a microchip, and the chip comes back registered to Mandy Rose Reynolds of San Marcos, Texas. Now the police have a name and a thread to pull.
Female, looks like a bra strap. Looks like it was sitting in some type of chair, or if there's a metal frame underneath the body. Looks like a female, there's a bra strap. When I got here, you could see exposed skull, exposed body. There was a couple of embers still inside the body cavity that was still burning.
Small. I mean, you look at his torso.
It's a small person.
Very small. Rings. So, the plastic, the rings, that's curtain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a tarp. Like,
Yeah.
Like the plastic.
A basket. Did she die?
Did she OD and then something set fire in the box that then made her
Right.
that smell? Or did someone come here, find her, and goes, oh, and then just set the fire? Because the dog is
Some like random Joe Smo. I don't know if that would happen.
No, like homeless. So think of homeless camps. They usually like the girl came out here and she was looking
Yeah.
for other people. Did you know,
I feel like
did
they
her
would
and
more
her
likely
boyfriend
call
get
in
into
or
a little
ignore it.
tiff, and then he leave for a little while, come back and find out that she's dead? Whether he's like, oh, I smacked her. It's going to be strange.
Robinson Police Detective Marshall Perry receives a phone call. The caller identifies herself as a woman, says she was driving from San Marcos to Wichita, Kansas, to visit her boyfriend's sick grandmother, and that she stopped at a gas station near Robinson around 1 o'clock in the morning on April 6th. She says the dog, Titan, jumped out of the car and ran off. Detective Perry knows immediately that this story is a lie, because Robinson police were already at the scene at 10 o'clock the night before. Titan was already there, barking at officers, hours before this caller claims the dog jumped out of a car at a gas station. Perry presses harder. The caller grows agitated, and then the caller says something that shifts the entire tone of the call. What is the interrogation about? That is my dog you have. What is this interrogation about? Detective, I'll just come to the pound to pick up Titan. Goodbye. The caller hangs up, but Detective Perry has already traced the call. Using a license plate reading system called Flock, investigators locate Mandy Reynolds' Honda Accord on Aquarina Springs Drive in San Marcos at the time of the call. The recorded audio even captures the rhythmic sound of the car's windshield wipers moving in heavy rain. The phone that was used to make that call was Mandy's phone. The car was Mandy's car, and the voice, investigators would determine, was not Mandy's. San Marcos police go to Mandy's apartment. The door opens to an empty unit. Everything is gone. Every piece of furniture, every personal item, every trace of Mandy Rose Reynolds removed. Her car is missing. Police run the plates on the Honda Accord through a license plate database. The car is in Wichita, Kansas, 600 miles north, the same city Joseph Daigneault is from. On April 7th, San Marcos police find something else. All of Mandy's personal belongings, the items that had been stripped from her apartment, are discovered in the back of an abandoned truck parked several miles from her home. Think about what that means. Someone didn't just kill Mandy. Someone emptied her apartment, loaded her belongings into a separate vehicle, abandoned them miles away, has tried to erase every physical trace that Mandy Rose Reynolds had ever lived there. April 8th, 2023. Wichita police have been notified. They're watching for Mandy's black Honda Accord, and they find it. Officers attempt to pull the vehicle over. The driver sees the lights and runs. What follows is a high-speed pursuit through residential neighborhoods in Wichita that lasts approximately 30 minutes and reaches speeds of over 100 miles per hour. The driver sideswipes a police cruiser. He blows through intersections. He is driving a dead woman's car through a city of 400,000 people at 100 miles an hour. The chase ends when the Honda Accord slams into another vehicle. The driver bails out. He runs on foot across a parking lot and into a busy grocery store, sending shoppers scrambling for their cars as police flood through the doors. Officers search the store. They find the driver on a bottom shelf behind some canned goods, curled up and hiding. His name is Joseph Daigneault. He is Mandy Rose Reynolds' cousin. Inside Mandy's car, on the floorboard of the driver's seat, police find a .380 semi-automatic handgun. It belonged to Mandy's grandmother. The forensic case that connected Joseph Daigneault to Mandy's murder was built across 3 jurisdictions and assembled piece by piece by investigators who had never worked together before. Robinson, Texas, provided the crime scene. The burned container, the .380 shell casing, recovered from inside it, and the location data. San Marcos, Texas, provided the Walmart surveillance footage showing Derek buying the container, the shovel, and the gas can on April 4th. The Flock license plate data, the phone call recording, the emptied apartment, the belongings abandoned in the truck. Wichita, Kansas provided the arrest, the car, the gun, and the man hiding behind canned goods. The Texas Department of Public Safety Crime Lab connected the final links. A firearms examiner, John William Knight, testified that the .380 bullet fragment recovered from Mandy's remains and the shell casing found in the burned container were both fired from the same weapon, the grandmother's pistol found in Mandy's car after Derek crashed it in Wichita. The medical examiner confirmed Mandy's identity through dental records. Cause of death, gunshot wound to the head. Derek Daigneault was initially charged in Kansas with evading arrest, aggravated battery, and criminal possession of a weapon by a convicted felon. He was sentenced to just over 9 years on those charges alone. Then he was extradited to McLennan County, Texas, to face murder. The trial took place in Waco's 19th State District Court in November 2024, a year and a half after Mandy's death. It lasted 4 days. Prosecutors Ryan Calvert and Alyssa Killen walked the jury through the evidence we've just walked through together. 3 days of testimony from officers in Robinson, San Marcos, and Wichita, forensic experts, cell tower analysis, surveillance footage, the Walmart video, the phone call. The defense, led by attorney Jason Darling, did not call a single witness. Their argument rested on 2 points. The investigation produced no DNA evidence tying Derek to the crime, and no clear motive was ever established. No motive. The prosecution never told the jury why Derek killed Mandy, because the truth is, no one knows for certain. What we know is what Mandy's mother wrote, that Derek contacted Mandy under false pretenses. What we know is that Mandy's father testified she was afraid of him. What we know is that Derek was a 9-time convicted felon on felony probation with a warrant, living in his cousin's apartment, and that Mandy was apparently his only lifeline. The jury, 7 women, 5 men, deliberated for approximately 35 minutes. They found Derek Joseph Daigneault guilty of murder. During the punishment phase, the jury learned the full scope of Derek's criminal history, the 9 prior felonies, the shooting as a juvenile, the prison time in Kansas, the pattern that stretched back to when he was 15 years old. Prosecutors asked for life. In closing, Assistant D.A. Ryan Calvert told the jury if they knew nothing else about Derek Daigneault other than what he did to Mandy Rose Reynolds, that alone would have been enough to justify a life sentence. The jury deliberated for approximately 40 minutes. They sentenced Derek Joseph Daigneault to life in prison. He will be eligible to seek parole after serving 30 years. What happened next in that courtroom tells you everything about the damage this crime did to an entire family. Mandy's mother, her stepfather, and her brother all delivered victim impact statements. As Mandy's brother spoke from the witness stand, Derek shouted across the courtroom, accusing his cousin of a crime. The judge admonished him. Derek kept talking. Deputies escorted him out. And then, on the way to the jail, Derek Daigneault was asked by a reporter if he had anything to say. His answer was five words. I guess I'm just a criminal. After he was removed, a fight broke out in the courtroom between the 2 sides of the family, because that's what this case did. Derek and Mandy were cousins. Everyone in that courtroom was related to both of them. As the prosecutor later said, all of these people on both sides are all members of the same family. There's a lot of bitterness and anger and hurt between those people. There's one more thing you need to know about this case. After Mandy was killed, after the investigation launched, after Derek was arrested in Wichita, Mandy's best friend, the apartment property manager, the reason Mandy had moved to San Marcos in the first place, adopted Titan. Days after Mandy died, her best friend took her dog. And in November 2024, when Derek Daigneault stood trial for murder in Waco, Titan was there, in the courthouse, with the prosecutors and the investigator. He came to the trial. The prosecutors said it plainly. The keys to this case were a heroic and loyal dog named Titan and extraordinary cooperation between law enforcement agencies in multiple jurisdictions and states. That combination delivered justice for Mandy. We don't know exactly when Derek killed Mandy. Investigators believe it was sometime on April 4th or 5th, but the precise moment has never been established. We don't know what the false pretenses were that Derek used to convince Mandy to drive 600 miles to pick him up. We don't know the motive. The prosecution never presented one. The defense said the absence of motive was a weakness in the case. The jury decided it didn't matter. We don't know why Derek chose Robinson, Texas, as the location to burn Mandy's body. Neither he nor Mandy had any known connection to McLennan County, and we don't know what Mandy would have studied if she'd started college. Here's what we do know. Mandy Rose Reynolds was 26 years old. She was from Idaho. She'd lived in Tennessee and Louisiana and finally Texas. She loved her dog badly enough that her stepfather still talks about it. She moved to San Marcos to be near her best friend. She was thinking about what came next. And when someone she trusted asked for help, she drove 600 miles to give it. That's who Mandy was. Not a case number, not a body in a field, not a footnote in someone else's crime story. Her name was Mandy Rose Reynolds, and her dog never left her.
Hey, did they tell you guys to leave, or did you hear anything?
They told us to get out.
Watch it. Are officers in here?
Can you please get out?
I got hands. I got hands.
Crawl out! Crawl out towards the sound of our voice! Somebody get less lethal.
Somebody's gonna have to back off one direction or the other.
Place lethal.
Right.
Go ahead. Hold on. Crawl out!
You guys you're gonna have to move with me. Ready?
Yep.
Pull him out. Wait for him back.
283.
Put him on one side.
Yeah. He's not.
I got
Someone's right here.
He might have taken something. He's not coherent. Can somebody start EMS?
If people get off the air, we would love to.
He's got a pulse. He's good. He's still awake. You want to get him up?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring these around the bank.
What's your name?
See if an ID or anything on that side. He just got like a lighter and some over here. What's your name?
Oh, that's Derek.
Say something.
Derek Daigneault or something like that. What? D.A. something.
If this case matters to you, if telling Mandy's story the right way matters to you, subscribe to Gravel Ghost Basement. That's how we keep covering these cases with the depth and the care they deserve. Leave Mandy's name in the comments if this one hit you. I'll see you in the next one.